What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Mind Muscle Experience YouTube channel. My name is Tyler Egan, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing rope flow and where to begin if this is something you're interested in or just beginning to practice. I'm going to dive right into this and save all the business formalities of YouTube because rope flow has been a magical, transformative practice in my life, not just for like deeper mental clarity and getting out of my anxious thought patterns, and even more of a spiritual connection with my own body, but it has re-educated my body on how to move without getting hurt all the time. So with that out of the way, let's dive into this. So really quick, before we dive into where you can physically begin with a rope, if you have one in your hands, you're like, let's fucking do this, is rope flow is a way with a 1/2 pound to 2 pound weighted rope, we can begin to re-educate the nervous system on deriving or generating movement from the spine. Now, the idea of rope flow was invented or has been popularized, I'm not entirely too sure, by David Weck and the people over at the Weck method. I don't know if they invented it or they just are popularizing it. But either way, you can find so much information about rope flow from them over there. So I highly recommend check them out if you like this stuff and you want to learn more about rope flow. But they've either invented it or are popularizing it, and this is really based off of the spinal engine theory, which theorizes that human movement or locomotion is generated from the spine and then is articulated out or propelled out to the further extremities like the arms and the hands, right? Rather than like we're pushing off our feet when we're walking, we're actually generating movement from our spine first. And so with that in mind, all movement starts from our core. And with a rope, we can re-educate the core to move with more rhythm, with more flow, right? With a little bit more swag in your step type of thing. We can do this with simple patterns, and this is minimal risk injury risk, I want to say. So if you have shoulder pain, if you have back pain, if you have hip pain, you have knee pain, this is a great modality to start moving your body, burning calories, getting in better shape. It can improve your cardiovascular health by integrating both sides, like with a figure 8 pattern, which isn't something we go over in this video, but we can in another video if you guys want to see it. You start to sync up both hemispheres of the brain, both the what do they call it? The logical side of the brain and the creative side of the brain, right? Because we're using both sides of the body, okay? So minimal risk injury. You can integrate this into heavy resistance training as you already are without it hindering your force output or your strength. If you're doing heavy deadlift sets, you can just take a rope, do some figure 8 patterns in between sets. Just keep your body loose and capable for the next set you're about to take on, right? And then when you get the practice down and you have all the patterns in, you can just flow with it and get into a flow state where you're not controlling the movement. You don't have a program set in place. You just let your body take the wheel and you just start moving your body in whatever ways. Let the rope take you on a fucking journey. It is beyond magical what you can do with a 1 pound rope and a little bit of practice and discipline. So with that out of the way, let's dive into this. If you guys take anything from today's video, please, we'd really appreciate it if you could leave a like, a comment, and please subscribe for more content like this. And let's get started. So I want to share a really good place to begin, and that is by understanding the cardinal directions of rope flow. And it's pretty simple. Just establish whenever you're getting going here, which way is north, south, east, and west. So I'm gonna call this way north, so east, south, west. And that's gonna be important, so then you'll know which way to roll the rope. Okay, but before we get into that, let me just start here with the basics. People always ask me like, hey, how long should the rope be? Somewhere between the belly button and the nipple area. Okay, so you're gonna put it around your foot, somewhere in that area. And for me, it's like right in the middle almost every time, and it feels like a good length. So from there, we want to establish, now that we have our height, the size of our rope,
we want to establish which way is north. So again, that's going to be north. Pick whichever direction you need to, or whichever way you want to face. So north, east, right? Never eat soggy. Shout out to my sophomore year world civilization teacher. And west. Okay, so north is always going to be underhand. South is always going to be overhand, and then east and west are going to be side to side. This is important because a lot of people that I've worked with, when I start getting them into rope flow, they always will be going underhand one direction, and then they'll go like sideways like this, facing the same way, and it can disrupt the rhythm and whatnot. So you'll see. I used to do the same thing myself. So north is underhand, south is overhand. And so from here, what we're going to do is just start with our underhand rolls. Put the rope in one hand in the shape of like an OK. You're going to put the handles in that same hand. And you're just going to start with your underhand rolls. Okay? Very simple. The rope should be rolling that way. And now we want to be able to navigate through those cardinal directions. So I'm going to teach you that. And then you can practice overhand rolls. I'm sure you've done this motion with items before. It's similar to even throwing in a way. So when you feel comfortable with those, then we can start navigating the cardinal directions. So whichever hand you're rolling with, because if you're lefty, you might start on the left side. Whichever hand you're rolling with, we're always going to turn our body towards that hand. So I'm doing my right hand right now. So anytime I want to turn, I'm listening for the rope to hit the ground, and when it hits, I turn. Okay, so that's a really cool thing to do to get when you're getting started. Is just notice the rope hitting the ground with your ears, because now we're getting two ways of feedback. The rope can start to teach you things about your body through this. So the way you're hitting the ground, the feeling in your hand. Okay, so anyway, now what we're gonna do is we wanna start facing south now, so we can go overhand. So now, when the rope hits the ground, we're gonna scoop it underneath, and we're gonna turn our body to the rope, or to the right again. So, hits the ground, scoop underneath, and then you rotate your shoulder, and now you're going overhand. Okay, so let me show you guys that again. I'm gonna try to show you more from the side. So when you're ready, it's gonna come up, I didn't mean to put the table, and then your shoulder's gonna come around, and you're gonna release. So, okay, I think you get the gist. So, now, you'll be facing south, and you'll be going overhand. Same thing still applies, I'm still going to the right. So whenever I hear the rope hit the ground, I'm gonna rotate my body. Notice this, rotate my body, not your shoulder with it. And then whenever you're ready to come back to the front, you're gonna scoop underneath again, as if you're throwing it backwards, like that. And you're gonna bring the rope up and back around. So, underneath, up, back around. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the other side. What I always recommend people do is to do like 3 beats at a time and then turn your body. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And so on and so forth, and keep going like that. And you're gonna do the same thing on both sides. So that's not only establishing the cardinal directions, but also how to navigate through them. Next thing you wanna learn, and I'm gonna do another video on this, is the matador. There's gonna be an overhand at matador and an underhand matador. And I'm gonna show you guys the race and chase, which is the same type of pattern. It's a single beat pattern, and you're making that figure 8 pattern. And this is gonna be great for just improving everyday life. And that's gonna be the video, everybody. If you took anything from this video, if you like what we shared today, we'd really appreciate you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you wanna take the next steps in your rope flow journey, we posted a 5-minute long rope flow workout a few months back. I will put a link down below or a card up at the top there so you can check that out and see that next. With that out of the way, that's it. Peace out. Damn it.